Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. So, everything but nuclear weapons, the NATO involved in Ukraine. Long-range missile systems there. Troops there as volunteers, mind you. There's some special operation troops over there, but they're just over there just to, pick up flowers and, Yeah, I don't think I found this in the US, did I? Might have been Johnny. I don't know, Mikey. Anyway, then they got what? HIMARS there, Patriot there, howitzers there, tanks there, what? Motorized armored vehicles there. Everything is there. Money there. They got everything. Nuclear weapons, that's all is missing. They're not going to get it, but anyway. So all these things allegedly, especially certain kind of things like Patriot and HIMARS, and now they're talking about F-16s, will be and are operated supposedly by the Ukrainians. I have doubts. I have doubts the Americans will provide the Ukrainians with such equipment and allow them, have them blown up. I have doubts. After all, if the Ukrainians do not operate them right, and I'm not saying this because the Ukrainians are tards or anything like that. No. But you need years of training. I mean, more training, more time, better trained, correct? Experience, not only, read it 3 months and then 3 months you do something that other people are trained in 6 months. And 6 months is, you don't have, I think, enough time to operate them in real targets. Everything. I would say most of it is, virtual training is not, we're going to use the HIMARS right now in Oklahoma or Patriot systems. Remember, about 80 Ukrainians were shipped from Ukraine, can you believe that, into Oklahoma in the United States of America to be trained on Patriot systems. Do you think the Patriots, they worked on Patriots like real, or it was virtual? I think it was 99% virtual. Maybe they saw them, got accustomed with them, drove them a little bit here and there. That's it. And I have doubts that the Americans gave these weapons for the Ukrainians to operate. For security risks, that's another thing. This guy drive it to the Russians and that's it. The Russians have it. And I always mention that incident, I think, with a MiG-31. I think it was in the 80s. When a Soviet pilot flew from Vladivostok area and landed in Japan. Remember that one? New MiG-31 right there. The Americans the Japanese were like, what the hell are these guys? Call the boss. The boss came, looked at it, sent it back to Russia, Soviet Union after they got everything out of that. Before that, they didn't even know what that is. You can read books about that, or you can watch some videos I think are available talking about the incident. So nevertheless, the Ukrainians will receive probably F-16s. I think the Americans are afraid to send them for the reasons given. If they are sent, probably they're going to send with American pilots. Not because the Ukrainians are not good pilots, I'm not saying that, but I don't think they trust them. And probably the airplanes will have a self-destruction mechanism or something in case, someone goes out somewhere or that plane is shut down or, it's something malfunctions, it auto blows up completely, I would guess. That was one of the risks that the Americans mentioned regarding the Abrams 1 tanks and the F-16s among some. F-16 supposedly has a very low, very bad, many things bad, that the Ukrainians don't have a clean, takeoff surface and the air, I can't remember, intake, it's underneath the nose and it's low to the surface. If it's not clean, it's gonna suck some bad stuff, it's gonna plug the whole thing and blow the engine and all that. That's one thing. And then the other thing is supposedly the landing gear or takeoff gear is very tarded, and Russian or Ukrainian airfields are kind of like rough because they're for MiGs and Suhois, not for, I'm sorry, it's a little bit dirty. Can you clean over there and over there? Yeah, can you take that grass? I can't land like that. I can take off. And go the back. You're not a military weapon. But I told you about the Kalashnikov and an M16 or whatever it was in Vietnam. And not only that. But let's move back to this. I have two articles here where we have some weasels that are going to create a coalition to provide Ukraine with F-16s, because that's the little technique, the little mountain slope, principle, little by little, model. You don't go from A to B. Go A to B, little bit, tick, and then you get people used to that. And then when you reach the point B, you look back and say, how in the I agreed to get to this point. Little by little, baby steps. So, UK and Netherlands to lead, and I'm quoting, fighter jet coalition to provide Ukraine with F-16s. Ukrainska Pravda. No wonder. Following a meeting on Tuesday on the sidelines of the Council of Europe summit in Reykjavik, the prime ministers of the United Kingdom and the Netherlands agreed to facilitate the creation of an international coalition to strengthen Ukraine's air defense. According to the statement from Downing Street, Maharishi Sunak and Mark Rutte agreed to, and I'm quoting, work to build an international coalition to provide Ukraine with combat air forces and means, supporting everything from training to the purchase of F-16 fighter jets. Now remember, if you pick, and I don't have anything with the Dutch or the Brits, but if you pick this, it's hard to find them here. So you want to take a atlas and you open it, just find Netherlands and find Great Britain, okay? And when you find them, I think it would be fair to say that one missile would be enough for each. I mean, if it goes one and in the mid-air turns into two, I think that would be enough for these two big warriors, the Netherlands and the UK, to be out. Like knocked out in 1 second. But the problem is they're far away and they think, they're not going to attack us because we're not involved, but we provide everything for those guys. So this is a very weasel way of doing it. But they're very, very tough. In Reykjavik, they talk in Reykjavik about that, right? I mean, I've been in this situation. Let me put it this way. I've been in this situation when I was much younger on different territories, and some weasels that you cannot, at that point, beat the shit out of, because it was another guy like you and they were like behind him, so you can't grab them then. But then, you know what I did? I caught them some other times by chance. And then I ran after them because the chickens are running. When they see you, they know they're going to get it. You run after them, you grab them, you beat the shit out of them, and then that's it. Next time when you meet them again, they're going to be a little bit more contained, like behind the guy that you don't want to fight, like US and Russia, and you got these weasels, when they're behind the United States, they're all tough. We're going to create coalitions. We're going to do this to you. But if it's one-on-one, both these two countries will be done in 5 minutes. You don't believe me? Don't believe me. Just look. It's always how much you can punch. This Great Britain is like this. Oh no, blah, blah, blah. It's like this. You take it out with one bomb. And believe me, that one bomb is going to reach over there. How many nuclear weapons do the UK have? Like 260? I think less than Israel. And I mean, yeah, but other countries don't have at all. So, 260 and not only. But anyway, how many does the Netherlands have? 0. I think they have American nuclear weapons on their territory because they're vassal states, but it's a different story. But we create a coalition. Fuck off. Anyway. So on May 15, it became known that the UK had agreed to start training Ukrainian pilots in the summer and was already working with other countries on the possible provision of F-16 fighter jets to Ukraine. They do this, the training shit, just for our eyes and ears. Don't believe it. It's not going to be them flying them. It's going to be someone else. Several countries ready to provide Ukraine with fighter jets, Kuleba says. This is from today, May 16, 2022, per the New Voice of Ukraine. And what I saw here very interesting is that they will do it only the Ukrainians are going to do something Where is that? Only when they're gonna have some success. So what's interesting here is that right here at the bottom, it says upcoming Ukrainian counteroffensive may not last one, maybe not last one. So that's more than one. And it says here, this is the important thing: Ukraine's counteroffensive to determine U.S. decision on F-16s. What do you mean? So you're gonna send the F-16s only if the Ukrainians are winning? Is that what it is? Not when they're losing? You need weapons only when they need them. And I know it's when they lose, they're not gonna send it because say it's all lost. No, not gonna make a big impact. We're gonna send them only when you win because it's good to attack and have the Russians run away or something. Is that what it is? They're afraid to get them engaged because they're afraid they're gonna be shut down and everybody's gonna make a mockery out of them. And then on the market, their market value will drop because they say they're a piece of shit. Built in what? In 70 something? That's when the first 75, 76, the F-16s are a relic. Oh, they're upgraded, updated. Yeah. It's like you get, let's say, a, how do you call it, Chevrolet Corvette, like 1976, they like, for instance, and you update it. It's going to have the same chassis, it's going to have the same bullshit, it's still going to be an old style car because it was designed with the technology of those times. And you can add this and that, but still the fuselage, all this will be old. Okay, but anyway, I understand patriotism, but I don't understand stupidity though, which, anyway, it should be the other way around. Because you understand stupidity because it's omnipresent, you know, and patriotism, I love patriotism, but patriotism without head, it's could be maneuvered by some people, bad dudes. And it's very strange that here in the United States, patriotism is allowed only sometimes. Most of the time is not, but only sometimes is allowed. And that is when it's about to be channeled into what those guys want the idiots moved in what direction. Oh, we want you to do over there, and then America hit back, attack Iraq, attack this, attack that in the name of yes, America united we stand, and everybody's like that. And then go and say it right now, say I'm a patriot. Psst. A patriot is equated with far that, is equated with this color, is equated with many other things that, oh my God, no, you're just an extremist. But if they need you tomorrow to, I don't know, attack a certain kind of country, immediately there's going to be very fashionable. And you're going to have more people with flags, putting them in front of their stupid houses. Like right now they have the Ukrainian flags, which they didn't even know about a year ago was the flag of Ukraine. But now they're all patriots. They all have little Ukrainian flags, Sonne or whatever it's called, you know. Slava Ukraina. Okay, that's good. You can do that, but you're an ignorant. You are just taken by the nose and you put in this thing and you're just following right now. There's the next guy that is so patriotic at work. Go and ask him, I know, give me 3 names of big cities in Ukraine. And he's gonna give me the population. You lost them. Ask them, when is the national day of Ukraine? You lost them. Okay, and tell them, okay, what's the political system over there? Ask them about something about his history. Ask them something if they know about the country. And they will not know only about Zelensky, Patriot systems, Kiev, maybe Mariupol, and something like that. That's about it. Luhansk, Nogales, Bagalogas, Tabaloes, they're going to start mixing names and countries in a second. But they know now. Ask them, for instance, this. What the next one with the flag? Can you tell me what blue and yellow symbolize on the Ukrainian flag? You know what their answer is going to be? I don't know. Then take it up out. If you don't know, you're ignorant. Ask them. Ask the first person you meet with flag. Ask him, what do they represent? Ask them that. Ask them, okay, what's the national day of Ukraine? You tell me what's the national day. When do they celebrate it? They're going to be like, why? Because these are idiots. These are the lemmings. They follow. If you just put them like this, they're going to go that way. They put them like this. So they could be very fashionable with the patriotism towards doing that. But when it's about their country, no, we banned that. No, we banned that flag. Or we banned that term. Or we banned that, how do you call it, tradition that we had. It's not patriotic, on the contrary. But if tomorrow they tell them the other way, oh, now that flag is okay. Yes, it's okay. It's how the wind blows. I met many of this. The majority are like that. You know why? Because they're weak, they're cowards. They can't stand up and say, you know what, let me think. But in order to think, I have to have information. Do they have? Yeah, they can tell you what games are good, or what kind of drugs they can take, or what kind of bar is cheaper than the other one, or who knows what other idiocracy. But when it's about knowing shit, how are you gonna think about what? You don't have the information to think about what. Like you ask me right now, tell me about the nuclear, chemistry or physics, nuclear physics. I can tell you about 30 seconds, and after 30 seconds, boop, silence. I don't know, because I didn't learn about it. I didn't read. I was not interested to know more than a little bit more than the general public, because the general public probably tell you from the very beginning, I don't know. Go and ask your co-workers and ask them. Tell me about the nuclear energy. How is it created? Where do we get it? Do we dig it from the ground? We suck it from the air? We poop it? How do we put it together? If the guys know a little bit, they're going, oh, maybe it's from something uranium, something plutonium. They're gonna mix all this kind of chemicals. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.